Hi, my name is Stephen McGee and I'm the author of Curing Electromagnetic Hypersensitivity. And we're here to review this experiment. Now this experiment involves watering Dieffenbachia plants with different types of water. And we're going to go down the line and we're going to see what's going on with them. And we're going to start over here. And you can see on this one is Tucson water. So Tucson water has now died. And we also had another death that used to be here. This was a coffee plant that died quite some time ago. It appears that when you water plants with coffee, that you get a residue in the pot, and that residue eventually kills the plant. So unfortunately, Tucson water has now died. So this is our next best plant. So this is the poorest growing plant currently, and it's getting watered with Diet Lemonade. So it's showing the poorest leaf growth. Now these are Dieffenbachias and they're supposed to have leaves the size of your hand, and as you can see, this clearly is not growing very well. They're also supposed to be patterned. As you can see, there is no patterning on this leaf, nor any of the others. So our next plant is this one. So this one is microwaved water. So this water gets boiled in a microwave oven, and then the plant gets watered with the cooled water from the microwave oven. And it's showing extensive stress. So it's alive, but it's not very healthy. So this is our next plant. So let's look at this one. This is aged water from 2011. So this is water that I bottled when Fukushima went off. So this plant has been getting watered with that water, and it's actually doing quite well, but it's still showing deformity. So we've got the patterning back, and you'll see as we go down the line that the growth has changed in these plants. So you can see that this one in the past was actually growing with little to no patterning in its leaves, and that's now changed. And that appears to be in response to wireless radiation changes in my neighborhood. So a wireless transmitter on a cell phone tower has disappeared. And I also cut down my very large tree in the front garden. And this changing growth kind of coincides with both of those situations. So the cell phone tower transmitter being removed and my tree being removed. My tree was emitting some very weird electromagnetic fields from it. So not too sure which one improved the growth, but something improved the growth of the plants, as we're going to see as we go down the line. So this is getting filtered water. And you can see that the plant is actually somewhat better than our previous plant. It's also got the patterned leaves. You can see that the previous leaves never really had much patterning. That's now changed. So you'll see this change in pretty much all the plants as we go down the line. So this one is reverse osmosis water that has been UV treated. And this one has got quite dense growth compared to the others. And it's doing very well compared to the others. But you can see that it's still not the full size growth. So this one here, this is Wi-Fi water. So this is water that sits next to a Wi-Fi router. And it appears that when you radio frequency expose water, it takes on properties that are quite similar to the various demineralized waters. And this plant is actually responding favorably to this Wi-Fi irradiated water. And again, you can see the change from no patterning to pattern leaves in this plant. So this one is AMR, AMI water, and it's commonly called smart meter water. So this community has transmitting utility meters. So I got curious as to what transmitting utility meter irradiated water would do to a plant. And we have our answer right here. So it's actually one of the better plants. If we look back down the line, you can actually see it's got a pretty good ranking as compared to other plants. It's actually towards the top end of our best growth. And that's probably because the plant is expecting to be watered with demineralized water. And again, you can see the old growth that this plant was displaying, and it changed into this much larger leaf growth. So our next plant is Diet Cola. So this is what Diet Cola does to a plant. It's actually probably one of the biggest surprises of this experiment for me, is that it's actually produced one of the healthiest looking plants. So Diet Cola in the plant world appears to actually have some beneficial properties to it. You can see that the leaves are getting bigger, and our past leaves look like this. So you can see there's a very big change in the recent growth. So this one is steam distilled water, and this is in second place. You see that the leaf size has got quite large. It's got the patterning in, and this is the old leaf growth, smaller and far less patterning in these leaves. So there's a very distinct change occurred in this plant. And our winner is this one. So this one is the largest by far, and it gets tea. So it's just organic tea, and it's a hot pot of tea that is cooled and then stored in the refrigerator, and then this gets watered with that cold tea. And you can see that it's a very beautiful plant, and it's pretty much the way the Dieffenbachia is supposed to grow. And it's supposed to have leaves the size of your hand, which this one certainly has very large leaves. So we've got a couple more plants that I want to show you, which were additions to this experiment. Now this one is a good example of how the Dieffenbachia is supposed to grow. This is how they come into the home. Very large leaves, the size of your hand, lots of patterning. And if we go down, we should be able to see what's going on with this. So this one's getting watered with shungite water. So the original plant in this experiment died, so it's been replaced. And this one has yet to go through the deformity. So we have another plant over here. This one's doing very well. And it's got pattern leaves, large pattern leaves. Let's take a little look at what's going on. So this one also died and was replaced in March. And this one is getting cold, weak tea bag water. It appears to be beneficial to it. And we've got this one here. So this one is getting boiled water. So I was trying to understand with the tea plant whether it was the boiled water that was causing the great growth, or whether it was the tea bag. And it appears to be the tea bag. So there's something that the tea bag does to the water that causes this great growth to appear in the plant. So that's our plants. They're grown in radio wave fields from cell phone towers, and they normally deform. We've got some plants in the same area. It's a different experiment. And this is how plants normally look that are grown in this part of the home. And this part of the home is very close to the transmitting utility meters. It appears to be probably the most toxic part of my home to grow a plant in. And I consistently see very strange growth in the plants from these radio wave fields from cell phone towers and transmitting utility meters. So one last look along our line. So that's where our experiment is up to. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I wish you the very best of health. Thank you.